Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another market update episode. My name's Lucas Martin. I'm our business development manager, and this is a new segment where I pick the minds of our industry experts here at ARC Advisory Group. We'll learn about the scope of their research, growth inhibiting factors, growth drivers, get a better idea about the competitive landscape, and also any interesting facts they might have picked up along the way. Stick around to stay up to date with everything ARC. Welcome back to another market update episode. Today I'm joined by Janice Abel, a senior analyst here at ARC Advisory Group. Janice recently finished a market research report on operational historians and operational data platforms, and we wanted to set some time up to share with the audience a little bit more about it. Janice, thanks so much for the time today. Can you maybe just give the audience an idea of how you define the scope for this market?
Well, essentially, it's the operational historian, operational data platform market, and it's about the operational data. And most of the data that's stored in an operational historian is the type of data you'd see from automation systems like the PLC, DCS, and it's all used in operations. And we call it like structured tag type data, might be familiar to you. These would be the control limits, the alarms, the high and low limits, the measurement types like degrees centigrade, Fahrenheit, the type of data that most people have in operations. That's the majority of the data, but there's also information for reports, trends, graphs, sequence of events, data management, also data models for some of the assets or most of the assets today. And also there's other types of data that we'll discuss in a minute. So there's also in the report, we delineate by global regions like North America, Asia, Latin America, EMEA. We also do the industries, and we include most of the major industries. For example, we do both discrete and process type industries. And what we'd mean by discrete examples would be automotive, aerospace and defense, semiconductor, medical products, machinery, and more. And also the process industry would be the hazardous type process like oil and gas and chemical. And we also do metals and the hybrid, what we call the hybrid industry, which is food and beverages, which has both a discrete and a process side, as well as the biotech industry, and also the food and beverage industry. So they both have discrete and process. And we also do information on services. Deployment models like cloud is very important today, and people want to know if it's on premise, on a private cloud, on the edge, or if it's in a data hub or data lake. So we have all that in the report. And we also do data attributes and types of data, which are really important because although 90% of the data is the structured process type data, alarms, trends, the models, and all that, we're also seeing other kinds of, we're seeing data creep really today. Like we're seeing a little bit of financial data and cost data that's used for the process. And we're also seeing things like better visualization, augmented reality, 3D virtual reality, which is kind of a combination of structured, semi-structured and unstructured data. Energy data, video and imagery are big today as well. So, and if there's some category or information that you're looking for that maybe we don't actually collect the data like that, we can use we have mathematical models that we can slice and dice the data in other ways. So if you're looking for something else, just ask ARC.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for the comprehensive answer there, Janice. And obviously the scope of these two reports is pretty large. Can you give the audience an idea, just overall, maybe some of the leading suppliers that the report mentions?
Well, there's a lot of leading suppliers, but it depends upon the market and the industry, and maybe one of some of the delineations that I talked about. For example, one of the market leaders for a long time has been eViva Pi. It was originally OSI Soft Pi, but there's also a lot of newer players too that are growing quite rapidly, maybe even faster than some of the leaders, like Cognite, for example, which is a cloud-only historian. AspenTech is also a leader in some markets, and they acquired a company called Inmation. So you can see that there's a lot of different suppliers and a lot of different markets. I forget how many there are, but there's a lot, and there's new players today that we're seeing. And some of the suppliers sell their historian with the automation system, and others are more of a standalone. They're sold for anybody's automation system.
Absolutely. And you kind of had mentioned it, some of the smaller up and coming players. Can you maybe give the audience an idea about some growth or success factors in these markets?
Sure. Well, of course, as you know, the digital transformation is all about the data, correct? So,
Yep.
so in the growth in data, the volume, the complexity, the types of data is all growing. So that's probably the number one success factor. Also, the technologies are changing. The technologies being used for the historian, and also the technologies that collect the data and have the data, like we're seeing new types of sensors, IoT sensors. We're seeing new technologies like low code, no code platforms. We're
Mhm.
also seeing 5G, and we're seeing new models, and we're also seeing user enhancements for the visualization, like the simplest, more simple. We're seeing to everything to 3D, more videos, more cameras, more models. And probably the number one thing that we're seeing that's a big change in the market is the newer technologies like AI. And
Mhm.
AI needs a lot of data. So it's
It's
going to
only as good
depend
as the
upon,
data you put into it, right?
yeah, so it's going to depend upon the data. And AI can be used also for data wrangling, the robotics. All of these things have new data, the sensors, everything. So it's really important that people stay abreast of the market because of all these technology changes and the effect on the historians.
Sure, sure. So Janice, let me kind of flip this conversation a little bit. How would you say buyers of market research, this study, this report, how would they benefit?
Well, I guess the main thing was, I guess this for the supply for the end users, really the benefit is that they can understand the market, they can understand um, who the leading suppliers are, which ones are growing the fastest,
Mhm.
and even maybe why they're growing, because there might be some reasons that they have a newer technology, or they have a technology that their competitors are using. And in order for the end users to remain competitive, they need to understand that, because like I said, the digital transformation and becoming even more competitive will be all about the data. And
Oh,
that's
yep.
where we're going in the future. And you can see autonomous is one of the ways that we're seeing people going. And guess what? Autonomous depends upon the data. And so for suppliers, it's really important that they can understand the market and what's changing in the market and how they're doing in terms of the market.
Sure, sure. And you had kind of mentioned it at the beginning, how just kind of how we break down, size, growth, regions, et cetera, included in these reports. So it really helps kind of get down to a granular level when maybe you're selecting a vendor of services like this on the end user side, or vice versa. So Janice, I know we're kind of running out of time. Is there any other key trends or points you wanted to mention? I mean, obviously this is a growing market. You had mentioned a couple of the applications we're seeing that are really relying on not only data, a lot of data, but accurate data. Any other key trends you wanted to share?
Well, I guess I would like to just add that the market's at an inflection point, and it is a very fast growing software market. And the technologies are changing within the market. So, and we're seeing it, some of these newer technologies that are being either implemented or built onto the historian that are actually an enabler for the market. And if one thing, you need the operational data and you need to be able to connect to the data in these historians, and that's how end users should look at. That's one thing that they should definitely look at, what the connectors are available for their particular process or location or region or whatever it is that they need, problem they're trying to solve, and also make it available in a format that enables users with intelligence that they need to make actionable data-based decisions. The market's changing quickly, the technologies are changing quickly, and it will continue to change even faster in the future.
Absolutely. Well, Janice, on behalf of the audience today, I wanted to thank you for the time. Obviously, I know you put a lot of time and effort into producing such a quality report. Just a reminder to the audience, we have links to our website, more information about the market analysis in the description below. You can contact us directly through that webpage. We'd love to discuss how market data, analysis, selection guides, and reports like this can help your company. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.